Hey guys, I hope you're having an amazing week, and it's almost the end of the week. The weekend is almost upon us, so I hope you have some good plans to refresh and disconnect this weekend, spend time with family, spend time with God, and just get some rest and refreshment. So today I'm going to talk about the fact that God uses unlikely people. Okay, and a lot of you may feel that God has called you, or you have a desire to serve God and follow God and do great things for Him, be it in church, be it in business, whatever it is. You may feel like God has really put a call on your life, or you may have a very strong desire to do something great for God, but a lot of the times you feel like, I don't have the right qualifications, I don't have the right skills, I don't have the right talents, I don't speak well. All of these things can kind of make us doubt whether we could be used by God. But today I really want to encourage you that if God has chosen you and you have the desire to serve Him, you can be greatly used by Him. And I want to look at the story of David and Samuel. So Samuel was told by God to choose a new king to replace Saul, and to go to Jesse's house. There was a man named Jesse, and to anoint one of his sons as the king of Israel. And so Samuel goes to Jesse's house, and Jesse brings his sons to Samuel, and Samuel looks at the first son, and he is extremely good looking and very, very impressive. And Samuel thinks to himself, this is the prophet of God, thinks to himself, surely this must be the next king of Israel. But God tells Samuel, no, I've rejected him, I've not chosen him. And he says in verse 7, because in 1 Samuel, I think it's 16 verse 7, I'll put the scripture on the screen. He says, I don't look at the things that man looks at, I look at the heart. Okay? And so Jesse brings 7 of his sons before Samuel, and Samuel says, okay, none of these are the ones that God has chosen. Do you have any other sons? And then they remember David, who's sitting out there in the field looking after a few sheep. Okay? And when they bring him into Samuel's presence, Samuel says, yes, this is the one that God has chosen. Okay? And there's so many amazing things we can take from the story. The first one is you may feel, according to the worldly standards or other people's standards, that you are not a person who may, be qualified to greatly serve God or do great things for God or His kingdom. And it doesn't even have to be in church or ministry. It can be in business, it can be in sports, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, but you know what? God doesn't look at the things that man looks at. And very often He will choose somebody like yourself who may not have all the qualifications that the world would demand, because He will enable you through His power and His Spirit to do those things. So it's not you doing it in your own talents, but God doing it through you. And when that happens, God ultimately gets glorified. Otherwise, we could get very proud and puffed up and think we are really something special if we are able to do it in our own strength. Okay? Number 2, you may feel like nobody would ever notice you or consider you to be used in certain positions that you may be desired to be used. Well, guys, guess what? David wasn't even invited to the audition. Yeah, he was not even invited, but God had chosen him. You don't have to worry about impressing the right people or being seen by the right people. Okay, you have an audience of one. Okay, and as it was in David's life, if God has chosen you, God has chosen you. It's not up to them. Okay, and they cannot stop what God has for your life. And that brings me to my last point. There is no man, there is no person, there is no devil in hell that can stop the plan and purpose that God has for your life except you. Okay, you are the only one who can stop it. You can stop it because you have a free will that God never oversteps. And you can say, I don't want to follow your will, I don't want to do this, or I give up. I believe a lot of people give up. And because they believe that maybe the right people are not seeing them, they believe that they can't do it. But you know what, guys, as long as you're obeying God every single day of your life, and in every decision you're following what God tells you to do, there is no devil in hell and there's no person on earth that can stop the plan and call of God on your life. So I want to encourage you, don't look at people to validate what God has put on your life. You don't need their validation, okay? God will open the right doors at the right time, okay? Don't look at yourself and your shortcomings, because God will do it through you, through his power, and in partnership with him, you will achieve everything that he has called you to be, okay? And remember that you are the only one that can stop the plan and purpose of God coming to pass in your life. There is no one else that can stop it. You are the only one who can stop it. And so if you're having doubts or you're struggling, all I want to say to you today is God uses unlikely people. Yeah, God uses people that most people might not consider to be the best choice. Yeah, people might look at you and think, well, God's getting really desperate. He's really like, getting desperate for people. No, God knows exactly who he wants to use and who he has chosen. Okay, and as long as you obey him every single day and you put him first in your life, that will come to pass. And every plan, every desire that you may have, God will bring it to pass in your life. I want to encourage you not to give up. I want to encourage you not to look at your shortcomings. I want to encourage you not to listen to those negative voices. I want to encourage you to listen to one voice, and that is the voice of God. So guys, that's it from me. I've had an amazing week with you all. I pray you have a blessed weekend, and I will see you soon. God bless.